Hello, good morning. It is 4:28 a.m. here. Got some questions. A few were highlighted. I'm going to answer the highlighted ones there. Hello, good morning. So some of the questions from the investigators people are asking from back around 2008, 9, and 10 when the private investigator shot himself. So when you understand these lines of crimes and protection, funding, investigations. So yeah, in 2009, the private investigator was trying to bring wind to how they were investigating things around here with what was going on in the history, Epstein Island type stuff. Just as far as trafficking, crimes, concerns with abuse of young adults. Yeah, and then also how a lot of those places contain people that have histories of abusing other children. It's a place for them to stay, you know? They got to keep them away from the crazies that go after child molesters, right? Yeah, because there are whole groups and gangs, they'll go after all the child pedos. And then when that got caught up with and it wasn't panning out the way they expected, yeah, and a lot of the molesters were like, 18, 19-year-olds that had a 16-year-old girlfriend type thing. Or even guys up in their 20s. I mean, when my sister was 15, 16, my parents let her 27, 28-year-old boyfriend live with us. It wasn't a big deal. Other people had a problem with it. Yeah, we were more concerned about some of the other abuse with the younger kids. Yeah, we tried saying something with some of the things going on. We were told, yeah, we were making stuff up, right? Got pushed down the stairs by a ghost. Fractured our shoulder pretty bad. I know, and then the boyfriend is the one that went to prison for child molestation. Isn't that weird? People talk, huh? I know, it's amazing when you really go back and look. And then one of the nasty cunts around here that had taken off to Florida lied in their diary when mommy and daddy put stuff in their head. I was there, man. I read it word for word as time passed, step by step, inch by inch. Yeah, and it's fucking nasty. So in 2009, fast forward, because that was back in the early 90s, yeah. So 2009, when the private investigator was trying to bring awareness to the targeting of innocent people, non-vaxxers, Karens, not to mention being up for a review. And yeah, Mr. LaJoy was trying to bring wind to that, and they didn't like his opinions. No, they did not like his opinions at all. And they wanted to put other people in the victim chair. So when others came through, right, who's the victim and who you got to keep an eye on, whose concerns for craziness, right? And then when you look at what a lot of the adults around here were doing and how they were just going along with what the popular kids said, who had connections to people in Hollywood, no way. Right, they're fucking stupid, like that's anything new. Anyways, right, so when you look at that, the question there to try to answer that the best I can, 2009, yeah, when he shot himself and he was trying to bring awareness to that, and they wanted to put the nasty fucking cunt, piece of shit, abusive people in those chairs for funding reasons, and then to try to make the real issues seem not real. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, they're targeting non-vaxxers and Karens, and they're all like, well, yeah, we got to watch the non-vaxxers. They're going to kill other people. And it is a Karen. Right. So hopefully people realize that. Yeah, that fucking stupid cunt. And the other one that's still around here. Yeah, Ghost Speed Racer. And the other one that took off to Florida. Yeah, back in 2017, right before we went to Canada, because we were really beyond fed up. We were fed up in 2013 when we signed that FBI contract. Right. So in 2017, when we went to Canada, yeah, right before that, the nasty fucking cunt that went down to Florida, and the nasty fucking speed racing bitch around here, running their fucking mouths over the years, lying to the systems. making shit up big time. We've read their paperwork, dude. Unfucking believable. But yeah, in 2017, right before we went to Canada, both of them were bringing their kids over here wanting me to babysit nonstop. Yeah, it was pretty bad how things were spiking. And then what that sick fucking punk next door had been doing. People around here need to wake the fuck up and help my children in the hands of that punk who likes to beat up little kids. What do you got to say about that, you fucking stupid, astute, entitled, bratty pieces of shit? What the fuck do you got to say about that? Right, so I could care less. Anyone listening, the proper authorities here in Augusta may need to help these kids. My name's Mary. We're not going to snap. We're nonviolent. And we don't even expect them to smack that sick motherfucker on the wrist. I know many people say we should take his head off. They've been saying that for years. And we try to get them to understand it's not about that. I know it should be, right? As a parent, as a human being, somebody's got to pay. We've been doing this our whole lives, so we're trying to expose the networks and how they feed that child and animal pornography to different feeders and chasers connected to these activist groups and investigations. I know, it's a big fucking cesspool, man. It's so intertwined. Right, so the best thing to do, which is hard to do because when there's investigations and so much grant money being thrown around, you kind of got to go along with what they're doing, or you're not in the club or in the loop of getting money for that funding. No, you get kicked out of the pyramid, dude. It's upside down. It trickles down. And you will get booted from that pyramid. You want to go back to the bottom of the pyramid? It's at the top, but you'll go back to the bottom. Fuck around. Right, so anyways, I could really care less, all you nasty fucking pieces of shit, selfish fucking people, man. Gross. I really hope the proper authorities help these kids. We miss them very much, and we love them very much. And it breaks our heart, and it makes us so sad what people have been doing. It's extremely gut-wrenching what's been going on here. And then when you see how that's what they've been doing in other situations, putting people in chairs, victims, targets, Kirk, hello, meathead. Yeah, these fucking activist groups directly connected to the dumb cunts. California, Texas, Florida, college institutions. Yeah, we were watching very closely, so you can go back to Anthem College, 2007, 8, 9. Yeah, we spoke with Andrea for hours and hours. We got a grant, huh? So when you look at what they do with these people's names, yeah, I'm sorry. When you look at it, we've been looking at it very closely. Yeah, they didn't think that was being watched, and we saw them talking. They don't know nothing. Well, even if they do, just you got to pretend not to. Right? We've been listening to them all along the way. And they're sick, dirty people. And then when we try to tell others, it's how dare we talk about good people like that. And then they try to bring up our histories and every fucking swear word we've said. I know, it's insane when you really fucking look at it. So hopefully the proper authorities report what's happening here and do what they can to help those hostages in the hands of Hamas. When you understand what we're talking about, Ukraine, Wuhan, Iran, 700 Club, Catholic, cancer, I mean, just look at the history. You just got to have a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of wit. Right? Because some witnesses deserve more protection than others, right? Oh, with everything you know, we got to protect you. They'll eat you alive. Oh, we got to get you out of there, those monsters and heathens. You're too much of a beautiful princess to be around such monsters. How did something so beautiful and so great come out of such a monstrous household? Anyways, yeah, I really hope so. I really hope so. You have any other questions, comments, or concerns or suggestions as to how we can help our children without breaking the law? Okay, so that's what we're doing. And it's pissing a lot of people off over the years. and in not being violent and doing what we should do to help save our children from the abuse of those fucks, because we understand the systems, you know, we've seen these cases. Yeah, what happens? Someone goes to jail for murder, someone's dead, people are horrified, kids go where? I know, and then they got to take care of these poor kids that had horrible psycho drug parents. I know, we've seen it all the time. Yeah, so hopefully people pull their heads out of their asses and they stop with the little side chatter. We're right here. My name's Mary, Governor Hill Mansion, Augusta, Maine. Sick fuck next door. Michael Scott Garan, him and his sick fucking mother. It horrifies me knowing my children have been in their abuse and the abuse that they've already been through. Well, it's carried you all along this far. It's pretty profitable, isn't it, guys? Yeah, when you see how many businesses it feeds and gives leverage to, I know. You're just selling sunglasses and eyelashes. Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. Much love, everybody.